In an effort to make utilizing Haiku easier and to prevent you from keeping up multiple classes, we have structured it in a way that you can have all of your classes of the same subject report to one main class, so that you're only keeping up one site, but all of your students are able to go to that class. To do so, first find the My Classes tab on the menu bar. To the right, you will see New Class. Click on New Class. This will allow you to name your class. From there, under Settings, you'll need to uncheck Allow User Nicknames and then simply select Next at the bottom of the screen. At this point, simply select Finish. Now your class has been creative, but for the moment it's inactive. In order for students and parents and administrators to see it, you must make this an active class. To do so, select Manage Class. At the very bottom, click on Make Active. You can choose forever or until a certain date. I'm just going to leave it forever. The class will be visible to only people in the class roster. I like to check this one to make it available to either all people in Moss Point schools or anyone on the web. There's no private data contained within this site, so I'm going to make the site public. At this point, click Save. Now, in order to use the pre-made templates to ensure that you are following the district guidelines and really to make your life easier in building your Haiku site, you need to go to Mercer's Training and pull the templates to create your Haiku site from there. In order to do so, open a new tab, type in mercerstraining.pbwiki.com. This takes you to my training page. On my training page, locate Haiku at the very bottom. This page is designed to help you build and even go beyond the expectations of Moss Point School District in building your Haiku site. Two things I would like to point out to you to begin with are, number one, this tutorial that you're seeing as a screencast is also provided for you on this page as a step-by-step cheat sheet that you can download. The other items I want to point out to you on this page are this section right here, the basic homepage sample, which gives you a view of what your homepage should look like once you've completed it. And then, of course, you'll have the template that you'll import into your Haiku site once you have viewed the sample. Also, to the right, you have the same thing with the basic site page sample that lets you see what's expected from you on your Haiku pages, your content pages. As you can see to the left, we ask for a dated navigation bar. The very first block on your Haiku content page should be assignments due. The very second block on your Haiku content page is a brief overview of the subject material you're covering. You're going to want to make this easy for parents and students to understand, at the same time using some Tier 3 vocabulary. So if these students are absent, they still have some key words that they can Google and research to help them better understand the subject matter you're presenting through this page. The last and final block required by Moss Point School District is your handouts and supporting materials. There must be downloadable material here, whether it's PowerPoints, Word documents, guided notes. There must be material here that supports the instruction you're providing. Anything beyond that, anything you're doing above and beyond, whether it's wiki sites within Haiku, discussions, things of that nature, they either go below the first three required blocks or to the right. We are asking that assignments due, brief overview, supporting handouts and materials are the very first modules, or blocks that parents see when they go to a content page. This gives us structure across the district, so no matter if a parent has a student at Creole Primary or Moss Point High School, they can understand the material presented to them within Haiku across the board. That being said, let's go back and import our templates. To do so, you're simply going to find your basic homepage template and click on it. At this point, because you're already logged into Haiku, it's going to ask you which class you want to copy this resource to. Click in Search Classes, and because you made your class active, another sample Haiku class, click there, and it's going to ask you where you want that page. For now, you want it at the bottom of a list of pages, and click Continue. This is going to force open your Haiku site and show you where it put that material at. Now, you can edit this block, your contact information, which is required to be on your home page. You can edit it simply by clicking the settings icon and click Edit. You'll go in, overtype this information, and click Save. Of course, on your home page, parents need to know, and students, the name of the course, the name of the school, your room number, your email address, your school phone number, not your classroom phone number, and I don't recommend cell phones, but simply a phone number that they can use to reach and call a counselor or whoever in order to set up a parent conference, which leads us to our next line, your planning period. Time. Notice the times are there. So if a parent wants to set up a parent conference, they know already what times need to be in place that they can call and ask for. Okay? So that's your home page. The first thing required on your Haiku site. Now we're going to back up again to Mercer's training. And this time we're going to click on the basic site page template. Again, you're going to be prompted for the class that you want to copy this resource in. We're going to click again on another sample Haiku class. At the bottom of a list of pages, you can make subpages, but we're going to keep it here for now, and simply click Continue. Again, that opens your Haiku site, and it shows you where that page went. Just like we were able to edit our home page information, we can edit these 3 required blocks simply by clicking on the settings icon and select Edit. Type in your information, begin typing after the day of the week in the colon. Type in the information, be as informative as possible. If you have tests coming up, be sure you let the parents and the students know. If you have projects that are due, this is a great place to put it. It's recommended that anything you're given a grade for be listed in this assignment's due block. Once you've finished, click Save. Again, as discussed before, this is your brief overview block. We are keeping them in this order. Assignments due first, brief overview second. They can be moved around, but we're not going to do that. They're going to stay in this order. Again, click on Settings and Edit, and give the parents a brief overview and the students a brief overview of the material being covered. I taught social studies, so if I was going to discuss the settlement of the West, then I would go into, the Indians, and I would go into the development of the railroad, and I would go into specific areas being settled and what impact it caused politically at that time. So just give a brief overview of the material you're covering, so if a student is absent, they can go above and beyond and do some research, especially if you provide some web links in there, and we'll get into that a little more later. And again, the third block that is required is your supporting handouts and material. This block is different from the first 2 in that the first 2 are simply text blocks. This is a file block. Again, if you click your settings icon, edit, you can upload files from your computer, whether you already have PowerPoints for this lesson, whether you already have Word documents or guided notes for this lesson. This is a great place to put all of this. In the past, people have expressed concern what if the students work ahead and go ahead and read the material? Well, great, they're prepared for a good classroom discussion. How students manage Haiku and utilize it in your classroom is up to you. Remember, classroom management comes into play whether you're dealing with a digital learning environment or an old-fashioned brick and mortar environment. So personally, I advocate putting as much material as possible on this site to help assist students in their learning process. Keep in mind, the more informative your site is, the better it helps homebound students, students at ALC, students who are out sick. So it's going to be as good and as strong and as powerful as you make it. My hope is that you'll make it a good, strong, robust site that our students and parents can use with ease. I hope this tutorial helped you. Please look for more as the year goes on.